on, good evening and season's greetings everybody. The feast of Boxing Day football continues on the TalkSport network, and next stop Portman Road for arguably the game of the championship season so far. It's second against first here on TalkSport 2, and a huge night for both Ipswich Town and Leicester City, with the season now exactly halfway through. For Ipswich, the tantalising prospects of Premier League football for the first time in over 2 decades, but the gap between second and resurgent Southampton, now in third, has been cut to just 4 points, and that has got Suffolk nerves growing. Leaders Leicester enjoy a 6-point cushion between themselves and Ipswich. Enzo Maresca's side are on track for an instant top-flight return. Can they further prove their credentials by getting something here tonight? A sold-out Portman Road, a chill in the air, the floodlights on, not a spare seat to be had as we look down to the field of play from our commentary position right at the back of this 3-tiered main stand with its low-slung roof and pillars in the way. Ipswich have Ladke in goal, Clark, Wolfenden, Burgess and Davis the back four, Morsey and Taylor holding, Burns, Chaplin and Harness behind Hurst up front. The Ipswich subs: Walton, Ladapo, Ball, Williams, Jackson, Hutchinson, Luongo, Broadhead and Tuan Sebi. And for Leicester City, Hermanson is the goalkeeper, Ricardo, Cody, Vestergaard and Fass are the defenders, and Ndidi, Winks and Dewsbury Hall in midfield, Fatawu and Mavididi either side of Patson Daka, who has been prolific over recent weeks. The Leicester subs: Stolarczyk the goalkeeper, Justin, Doyle, Cassidy, Iheanacho, Suter, Chowdhury, Cannon and Atgood. Former Ipswich winger Darren Ambrose is alongside me in the commentary box. Darren, quite simply, this is the one that we've all been waiting for.
It certainly is. We just spoke about this with Johnny as well. Top two going toe-to-toe in the division. The best two teams at the moment. The Leeds game for Ipswich was important because it was second versus third. This is one better, second versus first. And Ipswich have to bounce back, by the way, from the walloping that they took off Leeds. And then they got the draw against Norwich prior to that. So they have to bounce back. They'll know that. They're normally good here under the lights. I've worked here quite often this season. They're normally good under the lights here, and they've got experienced players. Sammy Morsey is obviously taking the coin toss in the middle at the moment. He's key for Ipswich Town.
Well, this has been a feature of Ipswich Town in the Championship again this season. Just listen to the noise at Portman Road. Before, during and after matches, they've only lost 3 of their last 42 league games, and what a transformation it's been under Kieran McKenna, who was appointed as manager just over 2 years ago. I can see the former Manchester United first team coach down on the near side touchline, a steep drop to the touchline below, but what about the job Enzo Maresca has done since taking charge of Leicester City 2? In the Championship, they simply don't get any bigger than this. Second against first as the race for promotion to the Premier League really hots up. Ipswich against Leicester, the second half of the season getting underway for both clubs. It is live and exclusive on your home of the EFL. That is TalkSport 2, on a day where we brought you 8 commentaries from the Premier League and the Championship across the TalkSport network. And it will be Ipswich to get us underway in blue and white, playing from left to right towards the Sir Alf Ramsey stand in the first half, and the game begins. Leicester City in their change kits, the orange shirts, white shorts and orange socks, and immediately they go long Ipswich deep into the Leicester half towards Leif Davis. Yannick Vestergaard is there to cut out his cross, and it's steered upfield by Ricardo Pereira, given away though by Abdul Fatawu. One back by Chaplin in the middle midfield for Ipswich Town. Leicester recycle possession, and it's cleared away by Fass up and over the halfway line, right-footed, the left back for Leicester, and it's swept out of play, and it's a throw to Ipswich Town about 10 yards shy of the halfway line. Away to our left, the Sir Bobby Robson stand, at the end that Leicester City are attacking in the first half, playing from right to left. And of course, in the Premier League, there's a massive game tonight too. It's live over on TalkSport at 8 o'clock. It's Manchester United against Aston Villa. Make sure you download the TalkSport app to be across all of the action. You can swipe between the two stations at your leisure. And what a day we've had in the Championship. Defeat for Leeds, a win for Southampton, so Darren Ambrose. Ipswich know the gap between them in second and the chasing pack is just 4 points. We're going to welcome Darren in a moment, but here's Burns whipping it across from the right hand side. Hurst didn't make the dynamic run into the 6-yard box that maybe some would have expected from the former Leicester City striker, and it's out of play for a goal kick to Leicester away to our right hand side. Ipswich 0, Leicester 0, 90 seconds gone.
Good start by Ipswich, great delivery into the box by Wes Burns down the right hand side here, and Hurst in the middle didn't quite make up his mind whether to make the darting run to the near post or stay at the back post, and in the end he did neither, and the ball just went out for a goal kick. But it's been a dominant start in these opening few minutes for Ipswich Town.
And Ipswich continue to press high as Leicester continue with their policy of playing out from the back. They eventually go long with Ricardo up towards the halfway line, and Daka, who couldn't quite get it under control. 4 goals in his last 4 appearances for Patson Daka, who's finally forced his way into this Leicester City side. Jamie Vardy, remember, out due to injury again, and it's well won back by Burns in the centre circle, and he'll roll it back to the feet of the goalkeeper, Václav Hladký. No sign of any early nerves from either team in particular, but it's Ipswich who've had most of the possession and the territory so far. The team second in the Championship, up against the league leaders. Ipswich 0, Leicester 0, and an early touch for Sam Morsey, the Ipswich captain, midway inside his own half of the field.
Yeah, I said earlier on, Sam Morsey is key for Ipswich Town, as Harry Winks is for Leicester City.
And it's brought down beautifully out of the air by Burns, gets it back from Hurst on the edge of the D. Burns couldn't control the return pass, intercepted by Fatawu with the pink boots on. He knocks it high up the middle, up towards Daka. Daka sandwiched in between 2 blue and white shirts. Referee Sam Barrett says no free kick. Good positive start this from Ipswich Town. Hurst with his back to goal, out wide left to Marcus Harness. Back it goes to Leif Davis just inside opposition territory. Ipswich who were thumped by Leeds United 4 goals to 0 last weekend, but you wouldn't be able to tell judging by the noise of the crowd in the early stages. And Burns has been put away down the right hand side after a lofted pass from Harry Clark to find him. He's down by the dead ball line. He tries to pull it across. It's blocked by the first man, Wout Fass, and that'll be a corner to Ipswich in front of the Sir Ralph Ramsey stand. The first of the game so far, 0-0 on TalkSport 2.
You can already see what Ipswich are trying to do, trying to get Leif Davies down the left hand side against Fatawu. I'm really interested to see that. Fatawu, a fantastic young talent, and Leif Davies in sensational form apart from the Leeds match. And down this side, Wes Burns getting in over the top as well from Wout Fass. You can already see what's going on with Ipswich. That's the game plan.
Davis has got across to take the corner in. It comes left-footed into the near post, and Burns got the initial touch, and it deflected behind off Wilfred Ndidi, and that'll be a second corner in quick succession for Ipswich Town, who haven't won in their last 2 matches. They haven't gone 3 league games without a win all season so far, and it's 9 wins from 11 at home in the Championship this season for Ipswich Town. An outstanding record. Davis with another in-swinging corner into the 6-yard box, and it's headed wide by Burns at the near post, nowhere near the target, and a goal kick to Leicester City and their goalkeeper Mads Hermansen.
I think that's half a chance, Joe, to be honest. When you're in the box and you get your head full on it, he's not just had a little skim off his head. He's full on contact. You've got to be trying to hit the target there, and as you said, he was wayward. Interesting, and maybe we should keep an eye on Wes Burns being Wout Fass down the right hand side, and like I said, Leif Davies versus Fatawu in the left hand side. See who gets the upper hand, the left for Ipswich, the right hand side for Leicester.
Leicester unbeaten in their last 7. They've won 5 in a row. Relegated from the Premier League, of course, last year, but seeking an instant return. And what a remarkable points tally they've achieved. 58 points from their 23 games. And that is the standard that has been set, and 19 league wins in that time. Here is Fass, instantly recognisable with his curly hair and the giant Vestergaard at the heart of the Leicester back line. And now when they're in possession, they go to a 3. A risky ball out of defence by goalkeeper Hermansen. Connor Cody almost caught. Davis threatened to win it back, but he stumbled just as he tried to make the interception. And fortunately for Leicester, they're able to retain possession.
Leicester doesn't even seem like they've got started in this match yet. It's early days, and I run into the 6th minute, but it's been all Ipswich at the moment down the right and the left hand side. Leicester just just trying to get a foothold in the match now. We know how dangerous they can be once they do that. Harry Winks recycling possession all the time.
67% of possession for Ipswich so far. That is unlike Leicester. But here they come with Ndidi, down by the dead ball line, whipping in a high cross to the far post. Fatou has brought it down. He can't get the shot away. Marcus Harness tracking back for Ipswich will hook it clear, high towards their right-hand side, the near side of the field. Out of play for a Leicester throw, deep inside opposition territory. 6 gone on TalkSport 2. Ipswich 0, Leicester 0. But great energy and tenacity about these early exchanges, and there's a problem here for Steffi Mavididi, who is another Leicester player in super goal-scoring form. 4 goals in his last 4 appearances. He's gone down. The referee stopped the game to allow Mavididi, the number 10, the former Arsenal youth player, to get to his feet, and Fass will take another Leicester throw. This one's on their left-hand side and is level with the edge of the 18-yard box. Fass just looking for options. Leicester in their change kit tonight, the orange-coloured shirts, the peach-coloured shirts, and they win another throw down by the corner flag in front of the Sir Bobby Robson stand.
He's got to hit it, Fatou, the earlier chance. Indeed, a great ball into the box. Leif Davis misread the header at the back post. He's tried to bring it down. All he had to do was sweep it home with his left foot, his favoured left foot, it seems like. And for some reason, he was caught in two minds. Whether he thought Leif Davis was going to get a touch, I don't know. But that's a big opportunity, that, for Leicester.
Now on Connor Chaplin on the edge of the penalty area, and Ipswich have a free kick. Darren Ambrose with us for commentary tonight. What would be a good result tonight for your former club Ipswich, Darren?
Before the game I was thinking maybe a draw. When we see the Leeds result, then Southampton walloping earlier on as well, winning 5-0 against Swansea.
Leicester have won it back half the pitch. Meanwhile, it's cut back towards Ndidi, edge of the box. He miskicked it. It's fallen for Mavididi. Left hand into the penalty area, surrounded by 2 in blue. He couldn't get his shot away. Let off for Ipswich Town. It's come back to Ricardo, midway inside opposition territory. Lovely cross-field ball to the right-hand side, and Fatou, who darts in field, twisting and turning and trying to dart away from Davis. Oh, and he tried to whip it near post with his right foot, and Ladke was expecting a cross. In the end, fortunately for the goalkeeper, it flashed into the side netting. Couple of sights of goal now for Leicester City. Ipswich 0, Leicester 0, 8 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, Leicester certainly got involved in this game now in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Mavididi and Fatou really causing Ipswich problems, having some chances as well. We said the Fatou chance potentially should have shot and didn't. But yeah, going back to your question, Joe, I think a draw would have been a good result if it wasn't for the Southampton one. But speaking to a few supporters outside the stadium, they were saying no chance, we've got to go for the win. And it looks like that's what Kieran McKenna is doing.
Fatou was ball into the penalty area for Leicester, but very calm defending from Harry Clark, the Ipswich right back. Nobody around him, simply chested the ball back to goalkeeper Ladke, who was under no pressure whatsoever. More live football tomorrow night on the TalkSport network, and indeed you can only hear Premier League commentaries on the TalkSport network, as well as today with Manchester United against Aston Villa still to come. We've got commentaries on the 27th and 28th. I'll tell you about those in a second. Mavididi bursting forward into the box for Leicester, whips it across the face of goal, and Wilferman was there to turn it behind for a corner in front of the goalkeeper, and Leicester have really got started in the game now as they seek the opener 0-0.
Yeah, they certainly have. Ipswich causing themselves problem. The previous chance for Leicester was Jack Taylor losing possession in the middle of the field, and that chance there, Connor Chaplin giving away a sloppy pass. They're causing themselves problem at the moment, but Leicester are certainly in this game. Another corner, and they seem to be the team that's on top now.
Well, Cody and Vestigard are both forward. Daka lurking on the edge of the 6-yard box. It'll be Steffi Mavididi to take the corner, short to the corner of the penalty area, whipped in left-footed high by Dewsbury Hall, and the looping header over the top by Ndidi, who should have done better there. Not always a regular scorer in previous seasons for Leicester City, Wilfred Ndidi, though he's got 4 this campaign, and I think at least he should have hit the target, Darren Ambrose.
Oh, that's a huge chance. We are the angle of that cross was right where we're sat, and he is on his own. It's missed the defenders, he's on his own, and it was a poor header, it's poor connection, and he just put the ball over the bar with his head. I mean, that's a huge chance. That's the best chance of the game so far for me, Ndidi, and he should have done better.
It's Enzo Maresca, the Leicester boss on the near side touchline, arms behind his back. A disciple, of course, of Pep Guardiola, and Leicester have taken the championship by storm so far this season. The leaders away to the team in second spot, and it's 0-0 here at Ipswich at Portman Road. Mavididi looking to scamper in field. He's tripped by Clark. That'll be a free kick to Leicester City, and Ipswich certainly started the game the brighter side in the first 4 or 5 minutes, but since then Leicester have started to take control.
Dangerous player, Mavididi. Looks on top form today. Has the Spatteru down the other side for Leicester on the right hand side, and I've pinpointed those two, the right hand side, Leif Davies and Spatteru, as a key battle today, along with Wes Burns and Wout Fest. So I'm still interested to see who gets on top. I think whoever gets on top out of those two battles will win this match.
We are your home of the EFL. The only place to hear exclusive EFL commentaries is the TalkSport network. Ball's been given away by the Leicester goalkeeper Hermanson, under pressure. It's dropped to Burns, right on edge of the penalty area. His early cross clatters off Fass, and that's certainly gone out of play. And I think for an Ipswich throw, a couple of yards from the corner flag, because Harry Clark, the right back, has come forward to take it. Leif Davies has stayed on the opposite side. He usually takes the in-swinging corners, and it's Clark shaping up to take the throw, which is level with the edge of the 6-yard box. Back it goes now to Wolfenden with the dyed blonde hair, on to Morsey. Little touch wide to the near side, and Clark again. Clark crosses it. Hurst darted into the near post. It may have skimmed off the top of his forehead before rolling away and out of play for a Leicester City throw on the far side of the field in front of those 2,000 Leicester fans. Lovely ball in though, and Hurst, looking for a goal against his old club, wasn't too far away. It's been a really exciting, dynamic start to this game. Maybe a bit of surprise that it's still goalless.
Another half chance as well there for Ipswich, and Hurst, as you said, Joe, this time made the right run to the near post. Good ball into the box, Harry Clark, and he just couldn't get connection. If he did, it's one of those that you try and skim the connection to the far corner and potentially it goes in. But another half chance there for Ipswich. Been a great game already.
Oh, and Clark has given it away to Mavididi inside the centre circle, and Daka racing forward. He's now 30 yards out. Plenty back for Ipswich. Daka goes wide towards Mavididi. Good interception coming across by Clark to rectify the error, but then Burns concedes possession. Sloppy bit of control. Winks in the middle of the Ipswich half, middle of opposition territory. That midfield metronome for Leicester City goes across to the right hand side, and Cody's high diagonal ball deep towards the left hand channel. Mavididi can't reach it. A little too much on that high diagonal from Conor Cody, who hasn't played a lot of football this season. His Leicester debut was delayed by a foot injury, and that'll be a goal kick to Ipswich away to our left hand side. 13 minutes played in Suffolk on a chilly Boxing Day evening, and it's Ipswich 0, Leicester 0. They'll be underway at Old Trafford any moment now for Manchester United against Aston Villa. That's live on TalkSport. And then we're at Goodison tomorrow night for Everton against Manchester City. On TalkSport 2 we'll bring you Chelsea against Crystal Palace, and on the app Brentford host Wolves. And then on the 28th of December, so 2 nights time, Brighton against Tottenham in the Premier League on TalkSport 2, and Arsenal against West Ham on TalkSport. High floated ball up the inside right hand channel for Ipswich is George Hurst. He lays it to the right hand side, does the front man to find the speedy winger Burns, wearing number 7, whips in a high left footed cross deep to the far post, and the header is wide by Davis. It took a deflection on its way through off Ricardo. In fact, it was Fatu with an important touch, tracking back for Leicester City, and Ipswich win their third corner 0-0.
Absolutely fantastic defending at the back post by Fatu. As Leif Davies was just going to head into an empty net, he gets there in front, the desire to get there in front of him and head it out for a corner. Brilliant defending by Fatu.
Everybody back for Leicester, delivered high out, swinging by Davis, headed away at the near post by Vestergaard. It's come out to the edge of the box, and it's smashed a long way over the top by Jack Taylor, who can hit them from range, and we've seen him hit them from range for Ipswich plenty this season. Prolific in his days at Peterborough United as well, but that was high into the stands.
Yeah, he couldn't quite get it set in time as the ball was headed clear off the corner. He tried to control it to give himself time, but it was just under his feet, and tried the little half volley and just put it over the bar. But I mean, if you're Leicester, you talk about Ipswich, what's a good result for Ipswich. Leicester, they could just play with freedom, because even if they lose this, they're still 3 points clear at the table. It must be such a nice position that they found themselves in.
Absolutely. Leicester could go 9 clear of Ipswich tonight, and maybe even more importantly 13 clear of the chasing pack. Southampton in third after their thumping of Swansea. Leeds were beaten at Preston, live on TalkSport 2. Big win for Liverpool at Burnley in the 5:30 kick-off in the Premier League. Liverpool top after winning by 2-0 at Turf Moor. That was on Talk Sport. Sheffield United 2, Luton 3, Bournemouth 3, Fulham 0, Newcastle 1, Nottingham Forest 3. The other results in the Premier League, all of those games were live on the Talk Sport network on this Boxing Day. Quarter of an hour gone here at Portman Road, and 0-0 it remains. Harry Clark will take a throw for Ipswich in their blue and white. Back he goes to Wolfenden, the number 6, one of 3 players recalled to the starting lineup tonight. We saw a real thriller the last time Ipswich were in action here, that 2-2 draw in the East Anglian derby against Norwich City. Hurst with his back to goal can't control the ball up the middle from Wolfenden, and Hurst has gone down. And is he holding his right knee? Is there a problem here for George Hurst? The referee stopped the game, and the physio is going to be called. Did he land awkwardly there, Darren Ambrose?
Yeah, it seemed like maybe his hamstring or his hip, as the ball was played forward, it was just out of reach, and I see him stretching to get it. He did land awkwardly as well. Physio is on now, and they're doing all the tests. It looks like they're doing tests for the hamstring or glute maybe, but remains to be seen. It looks like he's going to be okay. He's a big strong boy, so he should be okay.
Yeah, you're right. I think he was holding on to the glute maybe, or the hamstring. Either way, he's getting some help from the physio. They're stretching that right leg, and what an opportunity for George Hurst tonight, up against his old side. He joined on a permanent deal from Leicester in the summer after a really good loan spell last season. What a season it was for Ipswich, promoted with 98 points back to the Championship for the first time since 2019. And I guess as a player, Darren, does it add any extra motivation coming up against your old club?
Yeah, of course it does. It shouldn't, and honestly, it certainly shouldn't, but it does.
Be motivated the same way every game.
You're absolutely right, but for some reason, particularly if it didn't go too well at the previous club, yeah, it definitely adds to the excitement of the match.
Well, still receiving some treatment here. George Hurst on the halfway line, and that allowed both sets of players to come over to the near side touchline and take on instructions and take on some water as well. We're taking on water in the commentary box too. And that's exactly what we should be doing in the stoppages in play. And Hurst is still being treated, and now he's being helped to his feet by the physio out on the halfway line. And applause for George Hurst. Ipswich, who do have strikers on the bench in the shape of Caden Jackson and Freddie Ladapo and Nathan Broadhead, who's been in good goal-scoring form, although he did miss, despite scoring in the East Anglian derby, a couple of sitters as well. Hurst is holding the back of his right hamstring. Do you think he's going to be okay to carry on?
I don't know. He doesn't go down too easily often, so when he goes down, you know he's hurt, and he's still hobbling. He's on the sideline. He is up walking, which is good sign, but he is still holding that right hamstring, so he definitely overstretched as he got it. He's going to give it another try. Of course, he's against his former side, as we said, so remains to be seen whether he can run it off. It's hard to run off a hamstring issue, and that's what it looks to be.
Temporarily down to 10, Ipswich Town. Ipswich 0, Leicester 0. Brought you Birmingham 1, Stoke 3 earlier in the Championship on Talk Sport 2. Wayne Rooney's Birmingham now just 7 points above the Championship relegation zone. Still waiting for Hurst to come back on the field. Leicester in possession with Dewsbury Hall. Angles the ball out to the far side, the right, and Fatawu in front of the cobbled stand. Here comes Hurst. Hurst is going to have to come off here. He's just pulled his hamstring. The opportunity was there for him to try and carry on, and he's gone to ground. It's immediately got worse for Hurst, and this is a clear hamstring injury. He can't even stand up, and he's going to have to come off.
Yeah, this is a worry. It's a worrying sign. I'd say he got 3 or 4 yards back on the pitch, Joe. He wasn't even running on really, and he's hobbled down. He's collapsed to the floor once again. It's a definite hamstring problem, and I said it's very difficult. Even a minor hamstring strain, it's difficult to run off. And I was watching the sidelines, and no one was really warming up at the time, so whether they thought he's going to be okay, but he certainly will not be continuing here.
Well, what does Kieran McKenna do here? As Hurst gets a standing ovation as he leaves the field, everybody getting to their feet, packed all around us, the supporters in the main stand. And it might well be Caden Jackson who gets the call, but the opportunity is there for potentially Nathan Broadhead too. Nathan Broadhead, who has 8 goals so far this season. Kieran McKenna's going to have to make a decision pretty quickly. His team are going to be temporarily down to 10 men, with Hurst making the long walk towards the tunnel in the corner of the ground as we look at it, and Caden Jackson is going to come on very shortly. But Leicester have possession with the score still 0-0. The game has restarted, and Ipswich playing with 10 at the moment. Hit up the middle towards Ndidi, scrambled away by Wolfenden. Now Burns breaking towards the halfway line. He's got runners left and right. Harness to the right, so too is the captain Morsey. Morsey keeps it in play on the near side channel. Morsey drills in a low cross. It's only half cleared. They want handball to Ipswich inside the penalty area. Vestergaard and Ricardo both took a swing at it. There was a deflection inside the 18-yard box. Referee waved away the appeals.
There was a lot of players there. I didn't see if it come off a hand at all, and we're not getting replays up here, so we won't be able to see it. But there was definitely appeals from all the Ipswich players that were close by, and the stand full of supporters. So remains to be seen when we see the replay of that. They definitely appealed. Caden Jackson still bouncing up and down, ready to come. He's the ideal replacement for George Hurst, and he'll look to get in behind as opposed to come short.
There's an energy about the game, but there's also quite a cagey feel to the game at the moment. Ricardo forward to the edge of the penalty area for Leicester. It could run left to Mavididi. It does run left to Mavididi. Tracking back is Burns. Good diligent work by Burns. Mavididi certainly found himself in good space inside the penalty area. The last touch was off the Leicester man, and confirmation of the Ipswich change. What a roar for Caden Jackson, who comes onto the field. He has only scored 2 goals so far this season, and of course it's Hurst who is injured, whose night is over early, and what a shame for him against his old club.
Yeah, such a shame for Ipswich as well. He's key, holding up the possession upfield. Caden Jackson, as I said, he'll look to get in behind. They'll know his strengths now. I think both his goals have come from him coming onto the pitch from a substitute position, so he'll definitely be looking to add to his 3. But it's an intriguing viewing here. Ipswich's most dangerous side is their right-hand side, and Leicester's is their left-hand side, and it's so intriguing to watch.
Quite a contrast in the style of play of the two teams. Mavididi attacking the edge of the 18-yard box. He's trying to play a 1-2 with Daka. Mavididi tries to burst beyond 2 challenges. He half got past Wolfenden, not beyond Clark though. Resolute in his determination to clear upfield. The sliced right-footed clearance goes out of play. Throw to Leicester, right in between the two bosses, Maresca and McKenna. The top 2 in the championship. Ipswich second and Leicester leading the way at the halfway stage of the season. Fass, crossfield, left to right, lovely sweeping ball through the dark night sky to find Cody. Cody drives into opposition territory, gets the return ball from Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall wearing gloves tonight. It is pretty cold in Suffolk. Back it goes to Vestergaard. Vestergaard, the giant centre-half, who's been a regular for Leicester this season, having been completely out of the picture last year, didn't play in the league at all. Crossfield they go now to the left-hand side of Mavididi. Mavididi led with the edge of the 18-yard box, one-on-one with Clark, whips in a high right-footed cross, headed away by Burgess at the heart of the Ipswich back line. Still haven't really had a clear-cut chance in the game so far. We've had a couple of good half chances, but nothing clear-cut just yet, Darren Ambrose. Ipswich 0, Leicester 0, midway through the first half.
Yeah, it's like a chess match at the moment. Everyone, the tactics are coming into play. We have had a half chance with Ndidi for Leicester, and George Hurst had a couple of chances when he was on. Nothing real, as you said, clear cut. We're still waiting for that 24th minute in. It's 2 very, very good sides.
Daka has spun Burgess with ease. He's 25 yards out. He's right of centre. He's laid it to the left of Mavididi. Again in acres of space. Curlers it! Oh, what a goal from Mavididi! Wonderful curler into the far corner. Placed to perfection. And it's 5 goals in 5 for Steffi Mavididi. And at the moment, there's no stopping the leaders, Leicester City. Wonderful finish, but he was allowed so much time and space to take a touch and then plant it across the goalkeeper into the far corner. Ipswich 1, Leicester 0. Leicester hit the front yet again.
Absolutely brilliant, sensational goal from Mavididi, and we've been saying this, they're the most dangerous down the left-hand side with Mavididi. Like you said though, Harry Clark gave him far too much time, and the Ipswich players, a little bit of arguments going on as to why Mavididi was allowed that much time, but take nothing away from that goal. Got it onto his favourite right foot and kind of used Clark to bend it round him into the far corner, and Bladke had absolutely no chance. Fantastic goal, and we was just saying no real clear-cut chances. That wasn't a clear-cut chance. He created it himself. Brilliant finish, 1-0 to Leicester.
And Leicester just keep on going as they seek a 10th win from 12 away games this season, and the leaders lead at Portman Road in the battle of the top 2. Ipswich on the attack straight away as they seek an equaliser. Burns with a cross to the near post, swept into touch by Vestergaard, first time left-footed, and a throw to Ipswich taken quickly by Clark goes back to Wolfenden. So how will Ipswich respond? The draw here at home to Norwich, the thumping 4-0 defeat away at Leeds United, who've done the double over Ipswich this season. And as I said earlier, not once this campaign so far have Ipswich gone 3 league games without a win. But they're behind, and the chasing pack are closing in. Chaplin with a misplaced pass. Not had any influence on the game so far, the number 10. And it's Fatawu deep inside his own territory. Back to goalkeeper Hermanson under pressure from Jackson. Slices the clearance high up into the sky. The ball drops on the far side, the Leicester right, and it's kept in play by Fatawu, who's carried it forward into Ipswich territory. Skips infield beyond 2-3 in blue. Leicester seem to be first to all the second balls. It's been given away by Ricardo with a poor header. Morsey lays it square to Chaplin. 30 yards out right of centre. Chaplin wide to the near side and Burns. Burns looks up and thought about a cross. Jinked away not once but twice from Mabadidi. Goes backwards in the end to Clark. Clark infield to Morsey. Sticks it up the inside right channel. Headed away by Ndidi. That's out of play for an Ipswich throw. Ipswich 0. Leicester 1 on TalkSport 2. Here's Darren Ambrose.
It's fantastic defending from Leicester. The desire to get back in their shape. When they lost possession upfield, Ipswich countered attack, and immediately they got into that 4-3 with the two wide players as well. Brilliant energy they're showing for a team that are top of the league. Brilliant.
Clark wide to the near side and Burns down by the dead ball line. First time cross, diving header away. Not entirely convincing by Vestergaard. Took a deflection off Chaplin. The ball is spun to the near side, the right again. And Clark right down by the corner flag in front of Mabadidi, who gets a good tackle in. These Leicester City players work for each other all over the field of play. The last touch was off Clark, and that's a goal kick to Leicester City, who lead by a goal to 0. And suddenly, against their nearest challengers, Leicester City do look very comfortable. At the moment, they're heading 9 points clear at the top on Boxing Day.
It's the intensity that Leicester are playing with. And we talk about Ipswich making mistakes and being a little bit sloppy, but it's because as soon as they get the ball, Leicester, 2 or 3 players are on them immediately. The work that Enzo Maresca's got them playing, the hard work, the high press, the intensity, absolutely brilliant to watch.
They go back to the goalkeeper Hermanson, clad in a mixture of pink and purple tonight. He hammers it high downfield. Leicester City in the chain shirts, those orange peach coloured shirts. Dewsbury Hall will roll the ball back to the edge of his own penalty area, and there's Vestergaard waiting to control. Square ball to Conor Cody, ticking towards the half-hour mark now, and not a restlessness about the Ipswich supporters. They are trying to throw their weight behind their team, but certainly I think the chanting that we're hearing is a measure of the concern maybe among the home fans at the moment.
They've just been stifled a little bit, Joe. They don't really know what they're doing at the moment. Leicester are playing extremely well. They've lost George Hurst as well, key figure in the way Ipswich like to play. Caden Jackson coming on, different type of player. Doesn't look like Ipswich know what to do at the moment.
Lovely ball by Vestergaard up the middle. It split the defence, and Dewsbury Hall is in. He's bundled over by Burgess, who got the ball, says the referee. Burgess shakes his head as Dewsbury Hall turn to appeal. No great appeals from the rest of the Leicester players on the field, which probably tells you all you need to know. But what a defence splitting pass that was from Yannick Vestergaard at the back.
Fantastic pass from Vestergaard. We've got the fullback playing quarterback passes. Sensational, and great run from Dewsbury Hall. Great first touch as well. Would have been soft if it was given. I've seen them given, but it would have been soft. He did have his arm into the back of Dewsbury Hall. I was wondering why he didn't just get his shot off, to be honest. He was one-on-one. Burgess, he's not the quickest of defenders, so Dewsbury Hall was going to get away from him. Felt the touch and went down. It would have been soft, but like we said, we've seen them given. But what a brilliant pass by Vestergaard.
Well, this is one of 8 live commentaries that we have brought and are bringing you across Boxing Day on the TalkSport network. 50 live games over the festive period in all, and more live football than anybody else on national radio. 450 games between now and the end of the season, of course, including Euro 2024. Ipswich 0, Leicester 1 in the clash of the Championship's top 2. Half an hour played and Leicester the better team. Burns though wins it back in the centre circle, trying to jink away from Harry Winks. Winks has held him up very well. Winks has been outstanding this season for Leicester City in midfield, the former Tottenham player. It's scooped up high down the middle by Wolfenden, more in hope than expectation. Header away by Vestergaard was an easy one. Flicked forward though by Chaplin, the touch by Caden Jackson, the substitute with his back to goal, but a glancing blow on it, easily gathered by Hermansen, the Leicester goalkeeper. And Hermansen has not had a save to make in the game so far.
The partnerships that I'm so used to having worked for Ipswich, that I'm so used to seeing, Wes Burns and Connor Chaplin and Sammy Morsey, normally in the middle with Leongo, but at the moment with Jack Taylor, we're not quite seeing them. They're not working, they're not ticking at the moment, and that's a credit to Leicester and the way they're playing. As I spoke about the intensity, they're certainly on it tonight, and you've got to say they're deserving of the 1-0 lead.
Ipswich have failed to keep a clean sheet again, and it's Leicester on the attack with Dewsbury Hall darting infield from the right. He looks to put it towards the left, and Ndidi, and there too was Mavididi, but Clark was there on the intercept, and Clark sets Burns away down the right hand side. Burns early ball in towards Jackson. Vestergaard saw it coming, pedaling back towards his own goal, and was able to make the interception. Good work by Vestergaard, but the ball was too obvious from Burns. And now Leicester on the attack again. This time the pass is overhit by Winks, angled towards the left hand side. Mavididi, the scorer, can't keep it in play. Throw to Ipswich in their right back position.
You can see the disappointment in Wes Burns' face. He knows that was an opportunity. Outpaced without fares down the right hand side. Good battle between those two. Just didn't get the ball right, and it was intercepted by Vestergaard. If he did, Caden Jackson had got in front of Connor Cody, and he'd have had an opportunity. Just got it wrong.
Always a great occasion here on Boxing Day, says Kieran McKenna. Ipswich trail though tonight so far. Ball into the penalty area by Taylor, right-footed in-swinger, gathered easily by the goalkeeper Hermansen. And Jackson hasn't had much to work with in terms of service since coming onto the field. Ipswich have been pretty flat in attack, which is really unlike them. They've scored in their last 27 home league games. That, unsurprisingly, is a joint club record. They're looking to set a new club record tonight, but as Leicester City have proved, not so easy to do that against a team of Leicester's quality in the Championship. Maybe Premier League in waiting again. Daka with his back to goal, can't hold it up, shrugged aside by Morsey, but Mavridi's there to whip it off the Ipswich captain's toes, and now here's Fass in the left back position, teasing it all the way back to the goalkeeper Hermansen. And admirable Leicester City, because now that they have the lead, they certainly don't need to force the issue, Darren Ambrose.
No, they're just comfortable. They're comfortable in every position. Vestergaard, Connor Cody, comfortable in possession, like to get the ball off the goalkeeper Hermansen.
Ball though by Vestergaard, one back by Ipswich. Hardest crosses, takes a big deflection, loops up into the air over the top of Jackson. Davis is just going to let it trickle out of play, is he? He is, for another Ipswich corner. As the home team seek an equaliser, this corner at the Sir Alf Ramsey end of the ground. 1-0 down Ipswich. And Burgess is among those forward. Jackson lurking as well. Wolfenden has stayed back. Davis out-swinging corner over the head of Burgess, headed away by Fass. It'll drop down to Jack Taylor, middle of the Leicester half. Everybody back for Leicester City here. Taylor scampers away from Mavididi into a left of centre position, knocks it wide left to the far side, and Davis, who wants to return pass. Davis gets it, does he, from Taylor, hammered away by Ricardo, smacks that into the area where the Leicester fans are seated, and that's an Ipswich throw.
That's better by Ipswich at the moment, down the left-hand side this time. All the dangers come down the right-hand side. This time it's Leif Davies down the left-hand side with Jack Taylor. Better the last couple of minutes by Ipswich.
Wolfenden, smack bang in the middle of the Leicester half. Midway into opposition territory, turns away from Harry Winks, goes square to Morsey. Morsey angles the pass out to the left-hand side, the far side, and Davis. He gets the return ball from Taylor again, but there is no great pace in this Ipswich attack at the moment. Wolfenden chips the ball high up the inside left channel, drops to Burgess, edge of the box, can't knock it back into the path of a teammate. Dewsbury Hall scampers to win it back for Leicester City. And now Leicester looking to play their way out of defence, which they do so near enough expertly until Cody slices an ugly clearance high up into the air. The knockdown one by Taylor, flicked on by Harness. Jackson back to goal, shoots low, drags it wide of goal under pressure from Cody. Better though from Kieran McKenna's Ipswich Town. The team in second trail the league leaders Leicester by a 1-0 live on TalkSport 2.
A lot better there, a lot better. Caden Jackson finally getting into the game, having an opportunity, just slashed his shot wide, but the previous chance, and it fell to Cam Burgess on the edge. Right place, wrong man to fall to. If it's Connor Chaplin there, we've seen that this many times, he just hits it first time with his left foot. This time he tried to little back heel to a teammate, and there was no one there. So good bit of pressure by Ipswich last few minutes.
10 minutes of the first half remaining at a sold-out Portman Road. More than 29,000 here again tonight. Hermanson, the Leicester goalkeeper, hammers it high up the inside right channel, and Fatawu was in an offside position, so that'll be a free kick to Ipswich. It's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0 in the 8 o'clock kickoff in the Premier League. That live and only on Talk Sport. Make sure you download the Talk Sport app. It's free, easy to download, and you can swipe between both stations at your leisure. We've got the PDC World Darts Championships at Ali Paddy 2 as Ipswich lose possession, and here's Ndidi darting through the middle. Slide tackle from Clark at the last. A brilliantly timed challenge after Ndidi played a very incisive 1-2 with Patson Daka on the edge of the penalty area. Leicester nearly carving out a chance out of absolutely nothing following the Ipswich defensive error, and Clark got back to make an important challenge. The last touch was off Ndidi, and it went out of play for a goal kick in the end.
Yeah, and it was Harry Clark making amends for his own mistake. Him and Sammy Morsey, a little bit of confusion in the middle of the park. He played a sloppy pass, Harry Clark, and then Ndidi ended up getting in, and in the end, fantastic challenge by Harry Clark to get back and rectify his own mistake, so fair play.
Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 1. John McGinn, more misery for Manchester United. Wow. Darren.
Crazy. What is going on? Man United and Chelsea this season.
Absolutely. And what an extraordinary season Aston Villa are having.
I said this many weeks ago, Aston Villa has to be taken seriously. When they got the result against Arsenal and Liverpool, they've got to be, Man City, sorry, they've got to be taken seriously. And once again, they're proving that they should be.
It's live on TalkSport right now. Here in TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL, our focus on the Championship. We have brought you some super live football already today. Preston North End beating Leeds by 2-1, Birmingham 1, Stoke 3 in the early evening kickoff. We also brought you Bournemouth's big win over Fulham in the Premier League by 3-0. Liverpool top of the Premier League as it stands after beating Burnley earlier, live on TalkSport. We've had all the football today. What a day it's been around the grounds elsewhere in the EFL, up and down the country too. Hammered clearance downfield by Hladky, the Ipswich goalkeeper. The flick down the middle by Jackson. Nobody there in a blue shirt able to reach the second ball, and Vestergaard sees it back carefully to his goalkeeper Hermanson, who clips it high right-footed on the angle towards the right. Header one in the air by Burgess in front of Fatawu, but it drops to a Leicester City shirt. It's Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. And now Vestergaard in that orange shirt again. On the edge of his penalty area, little 1-2 with Ndidi, and Leicester comfortable in possession, leading 1-0, 37.5 minutes gone. Hermanson, the goalkeeper, right through the middle towards Daka, and then the slice up into the air by Dewsbury Hall, drops down beneath the floodlights, and Burns will pluck it out of the air, but he's given it straight to Mavididi, who's got the pace to drive forward. Can he put it through the middle? He does. The chance on here for Daka, and he's denied by the goalkeeper Hladky, who made a great sprawling save. Good starting position, Hladky, to turn that behind for a corner. Leicester so nearly in for a second.
They are so dangerous going forward when they win possession, which is normally Ipswich sloppy play in the middle of the park, giving it away too easily. They are so dangerous and quick on the counter-attack, and once again almost got in. If it wasn't for a great save by Hladky, that would be 2-0.
And it's Mavididi, the goal scorer, who'll take the in-swinging corner, right-footed into the area towards Wilfred Ndidi, turned away first time right-footed by Wolfenden. Only as far as the halfway line of the Leicester City captain Ricardo. Square ball now to Winks. Winks just inside Ipswich territory, pivots and turns. Muted now, the crowd really at Portman Road, because Leicester continuing to look a threat as they seek a second. 5 wins in a row for Leicester coming into tonight, and they're heading for 6 and a 9-point lead at the top, and a gap of 13 points it would be between them and the third place team Southampton.
Yeah, league's almost over. as much of this game was
like
nearly
that.
almost over, with the chance just then. Yeah, Leicester, they're showing why they're top of the league in this match. They're stifling Ipswich. Ipswich have had their moments up to now, but nothing real of note, nothing really clear cut. A couple of moments ago, Jackson had an opportunity to head it behind as Leif Davis was run off the back of Fatu. He chose the wrong header to do it, head it the other way. If he'd have done, then Leif Davis would have been in. It's those moments there that they just need to get right, Ipswich, to get back into this game.
And rare that Ipswich don't look like scoring, particularly at home. They've scored 32 home league goals so far, but Mads Hermansen hasn't had to get his gloves dirty yet, the Leicester goalkeeper.
I think Kieran McKenna will always be confident that his team will score. It's normally dangerous playing that style that will score more than you, especially when you have Leeds, Southampton, Leicester's. That's a dangerous style of play, but he's always confident his team will get on the score sheet.
Groans from the home fans as Ipswich can't keep the ball, and Leicester moving the ball about with an increased tempo now as Connor Cody steps into Ipswich territory to Dewsbury Hall, left-footed, and he tries to get the 1-2 back from Winks. Dewsbury Hall, he pokes it on the slide wide to the near side, the left, and fast with the black and red boots on. 1-0 to Leicester in the 41st minute. Nabadini plays it back to Winks again. Winks midway inside the Ipswich half. Square ball now to Cody. Cody a long way from goal. Former Everton man gets it back from Dewsbury Hall once more. Leicester content to keep possession. That rhythmic possession football that they play, and so incisive, so quickly, Leicester City. And even since the goal, they've cut through Ipswich on a couple of occasions and look really dangerous.
Harry Winks is a tidy football player in the middle of the park as well. Just recycles possession. Very rarely does he lose it. He's been a good signing for Leicester. That experience in the middle coming from Spurs. He just gets it. He plays the fullback. He just keeps possession. Sometimes that's all you need your centre midfielders to do, and he's very, very good at it.
Second for Aston Villa at Old Trafford.
Wow.
Leander Dendoncker. Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 2. It's live on Talk Sport right now. That was an 8 o'clock kickoff, so they began 15 minutes later than we did here at Portman Road, where it's still Ipswich 0, Leicester 1. Make sure you get the Talk Sport app to swipe between both stations at your leisure. Extraordinary first 28 minutes at Old Trafford.
I wonder what the atmosphere is like there, by the way.
Mutinous, probably.
It certainly will be. Aston Villa have been brilliant. They've been brilliant, and they deserve everything they're getting at the moment. I really like Unai Emery as a manager. I think he's one of the very, very best in the Premier League. I've always said there's that elite group, Klopp and Pep, and he's just below that. He's not quite in there just yet. He just needs to win something. That's coming.
Ipswich up there with the elite of the Championship this season, and they win themselves a corner. Fatu sliding in on Davis. That's corner number 5 for Kieran McKenna's team so far, trying to bounce back after suffering the heaviest defeat of his tenure last weekend at Leeds. And it's the former Leeds man, Davis, again, who'll place the ball down to take the corner. It'll be an outswinger from that far side in front of the Leicester fans. It'll be left-footed. Burgess Clark is forward as well, whipped in by Davis towards the near post. Jackson flung himself at it. The ball's behind Caden Jackson, punched away by Hermansen at the near post. He couldn't claim. The referee though has spotted a foul, and Leicester have a free kick. It looked more to me, if anything, that the goalkeeper Hermansen had knocked over Ndidi himself, but Sam Barrett didn't see it that way, Darren.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. It looked like that the goalkeeper had knocked his own defender over, and Caden Jackson almost nipped in and tapped it in an empty net, but it's only what we can see here with this massive pole in our way.
The infamous Portman Road pole.
I just looked at the corner there, and it's a bit too static for Ipswich. There's no real movement into the box there, and it's too easy to defend from Leicester, and they almost had the opportunity with their own making, Ipswich, it seemed like, but a little bit too static. I think Kieran McKenna will be a bit disappointed with the set plays.
And they've lost George Hurst to injury during this half of football, Ipswich. Less than 2 minutes of normal time remain in the first half. Ipswich 0, Leicester 1. Steffi Mavadini with a fine finish for Leicester, though the Ipswich defending, I think, left a lot to be desired, and still no clean sheet for Ipswich now in the Championship since earlier on this month, December the 9th. 1 clean sheet in 12 in the league. Here is Wolfenden, the number 6, midway inside his own half. You can see the warm breath of the players out on the field of play. It's that kind of cold tonight. Morsi on the halfway line, no wriggling past Ndidi though, and a lovely ball by Ricardo out to the left, and Mavididi again. Daka's in the middle, Mavididi caught in the penalty area, Dewsbury Hall joining the attack. It's only half cleared, scrambled away by Chaplin up towards halfway. A lucky escape for Ipswich. They've won it back though, Leicester, with the captain Ricardo midway inside the Ipswich half. They play some lovely flowing football, Leicester City, when they go up through the gears in the attacking third. Dewsbury Hall with his back to goal. Such a cultured player. Has to be just about the best player at this level, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah, it was a massive keeping him at the football club for Leicester. Real talent, real good football player. Neat, tidy, can score goals. We've seen that. I think Harry Clark there was just, he got attracted, he got done by the 1-2, he got attracted to the ball, which allowed Mavididi in acres of space again down the left-hand side. I think Kieran McKenna will be looking to change this situation.
A lovely touch by Winks to try and poke it through to a teammate, but Wes Burns got it half away for Ipswich, then it's hammered into touch by Yannick Vestergaard. The roar of the home supporters, some of whom are out of their seats and heading for the concourse areas ahead of half-time. Ipswich will try and seize upon any sort of bit of positivity or good fortune in the game as we tick towards first half stoppage time, and they are only 1-0 down to the league leaders.
Yeah, it can change very, very quickly. We've seen that. Kieran McKenna will get them into half-time. He'll really want them in at half-time to give him the information of what he's seen on the edge of his technical area. There's a lot to be changed probably. We may see a substitute or two at half-time, to be honest. I think the left-hand side with Mavididi is really getting in a lot down against Harry Clark, and just getting attracted to the ball quite a lot, Harry Clark. So I think we may see a change, if not at half-time, 10-15 minutes into the second half.
Is he getting enough help, Clark, from Burns ahead of him? Is that a question to ask, maybe?
Yeah, potentially. I think we said that their most dangerous side is their left. And
here come Ipswich, dangerous on their far side, the left. Early ball into the near post. Burns coming into the far, and Fass got across on the slide to steer it behind for an Ipswich corner. What a quick, lightning quick break that was.
That is what Ipswich do. The counter-attack, Leif Davies, Wes Burns down this side. Again, similar to the Fatawu one in the first half. Fantastic defending by Wout Faes to say that's a goal-stopping tackle, that one.
And Davis is going to take the corner again. 1-0 down Ipswich in first half stoppage time, a minute into it. Plenty forward in blue and white. Davis delivers high to the 6-yard box, flicked away by Ndidi, further cleared by Mavididi, drops the edge of the penalty area. Morsi sizes up a shot, that's blocked. The ball spins up into the air, headed away not convincingly by Connor Cody, flicked out towards the Leicester right by Fatawu. Out of play, Ipswich throw deep inside opposition territory. 90 seconds into 4 added at the end of the first half, and Ipswich, the team in second place in the championship, threatening to finish the half the stronger as they seek an equaliser.
Yeah, certainly finishing it stronger. Huge opportunity, and then once again great defending from Wout Faes to stop Wes Burns from tapping it into the net. But yeah, Ipswich finishing this half a lot stronger.
Long throw into the penalty area by Davis. Poor, cleared away by Ricardo. It's dropped down to Wolfenden. Wolfenden plays it first time left-footed to Taylor. Taylor infield to Morsi, middle of the Leicester half. Leicester with everybody back behind the ball. A sea of orange shirts in front of Ipswich Town. Clark plays it back to Wolfenden, who's just 10 yards into the Leicester half. Out to the left-hand side again, and Taylor. We've had over 2 of the 4 added minutes in the first half. Taylor's on the edge of the box, looking to thread it forward inside left channel. Only half cleared. It's come back out wide to Davis. Davis darts infield from the left, pokes it into the penalty area. Burns tries a shot that's blocked, hacked away somewhat desperately by Patson Daka, and for the first time in the game, a bit of desperation about the Leicester City defending maybe. And now Harness tearing forward, infield from the left, he's evaded 2, 3, 4, he's tried to thread it through to Jackson. Jackson couldn't control. Good idea, good invention and pace from Marcus Harness, sprinting infield from the far side the left. That's the first time we've seen him really create any sort of half opening. The pass had too much on it, and it's through to Hermanson, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's those moments, Joe, we spoke about. Just need to get that right. The end product's not great. This may have changed Kieran McKenna's team talk at half-time, actually, because they've had a real positive finish to this first half, and maybe just more of the same in the second half.
Liverpool top of the Premier League after beating Burnley. It's Manchester United nil, Aston Villa 2 on TalkSport right now. Everton against Manchester City, Chelsea against Crystal Palace, Brentford against Wolves tomorrow on the network, and then on the following evening, the 28th of December, Brighton against Tottenham and Arsenal against West Ham. And then the EFL returns to TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Here come Ipswich with Taylor, suddenly surging forward. He's found the pace from nowhere. Taylor wide to the near side and Burns. Burns is level the edge of the 18-yard box, twisting and playing it back to Clark. Clark's got time to hang up a high right-footed cross. Jackson's lurking. Oh, and it's spun off on Deeney and rolled behind for another corner. Hermanson, the goalkeeper, was scrambling there. Last few seconds of first half stoppage time. Corner to Ipswich, who trail 1-0. There's the noise of Portman Road again. Davis to take the corner. It'll be left-footed. It'll hang high out swinging towards Chaplin at the back post. Chaplin, one of the smaller players on the field, with a flying header, and it's gone miles wide, and that is half-time. So Leicester lead, but some encouragement for Kieran McKenna and Ipswich as the half drew to a close there, and those Ipswich players sprint towards the tunnel away to the corner of the ground on our right-hand side as we look at it, and Ipswich still with purpose and still with hope in the match, though it is Leicester City who, as it stands, will head 9 points clear at the top of the Championship and 13 clear of Southampton in third as they lead on this Boxing Day. Steffi Mabadidi with a fine finish after 25 minutes to give them the advantage. The Ipswich defending was poor, too much space for Mabadidi, but my how he placed it well into the far corner. His fifth goal in as many games, and in the battle of the top two, this much vaunted, highly anticipated game that we've all been looking forward to, it is Ipswich 0, Leicester 1 at half-time. Thanks, John, and it doesn't look like there have been changes for either team at half-time in this clash between second and first in the Championship. The first meeting since February 2014 in the league between Ipswich Town and Leicester City, and it's Leicester, the league leaders, who are stretching their advantage at the summit of the Championship as it stands, and that stay out of the Premier League really doesn't look like it's going to be a particularly long one for Leicester City if they continue to play and get results like this. Well, Leicester will get the game back underway in their orange shirts, white shorts and orange socks, playing from left to right towards the Sir Alf Ramsey stand. There are Ipswich fans at both ends of the stadium. The Leicester fans are on the far side of the field in the cobbled stand, about 2,000 of them, and Ipswich in their blue and whites playing from right to left towards the Sir Bobby Robson end, which is certainly the most raucous of the two ends of the ground, the noisiest end. Early touch for Connor Cody to the right of the Leicester back line, and he scoops the ball towards the halfway line. They gave it away. Harness laid it left to Leif Davis in field, and Davis tried to knock the pass down the middle towards Caden Jackson, but there was too much on it, and it was easy for the Leicester goalkeeper Mads Hermanson. Lots of home supporters making their way back to their seats as Leicester very nearly give it away. Hermanson had to race towards the corner flag. Excellent starting position for the goalkeeper to hammer it into touch, but Ipswich already showing that they will provide, I think, a little more energy and a little more tenacity at times in this second half than they did in the first. At times they didn't really lay a glove on Leicester, and the atmosphere was rather muted. I'll give you the two sides in full again in just a second, but it's Ipswich coming forward on the far side there right, Burns cutting in field, running into trouble, dispossessed by Winks, who just stepped across him to get the tackle in, and now Mavadini racing towards the halfway down on the counter. He's lost out to Harry Clark. Clark driving forward on the burst, corner of the area. Jackson's back to goal. He's tried to cut it back across. It's come off Connor Cody. It's a corner to Ipswich Town, and a very positive start to the second half from Kieran McKenna's team, who always score at home, Darren Ambrose.
They certainly do, and like I said, Kieran McKenna will always be confident they're going to get a goal, and it's just getting to grips for Caden Jackson. We've already seen Leif Davis try and hit his feet when he wanted it in behind. This time Clark put it in behind, and he made a great run and won the corner.
Davis with the in-swinging corner towards Burgess, and he's headed it over the top from the edge of the 6-yard box. The centre-half, who hasn't scored since March, he probably should have had a goal there. Still Ipswich 0, Leicester 1 on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, not probably, Joe. He definitely should have scored that. He will be devastated. He hasn't hit the target. He hasn't made Hermanson even work to save that. He was free. It was unmarked in the box. Great corner from Leif Davis, unmarked, and got his header all wrong.
Well, Kieran McKenna standing, arms folded on the edge of his technical area. I wonder if they've had a rocket at half-time, those Ipswich players. Not that they were particularly poor, but they just didn't come into the game with their usual high-octane style. They've got some defending to do here. Leicester with Mavididi, the goal scorer, darting infield from left to right into a position on the corner of the penalty area. Early ball to Ndidi, who crosses in from the left-hand side. Maybe should have gone for goal. In the end, overhit it. Ended up on his front on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Ipswich. We've had big chances at both ends. Leicester lead by a goal to nil.
From the angle we're sat at, Joe, it looked like that was just chipped into the far corner, was about to nestle into the far side of the net, but no, he tried to play the cross to Fatawu at the back post and got it all wrong. I agree with you, I think he should have shot. Once again, Mavididi looking dangerous down the left-hand side for Leicester.
So it's Ladke in goal for Ipswich, the goalkeeper in grey on the ball now, with Clark, Wilford and Burgess and Davis the back four, Taylor and Morsey in the holding roles, Burns, Chaplin and Harness behind Jackson up front. Jackson a first half substitute for the injured George Hurst. I'll give you the Leicester side in a second. Ipswich on the attack with Chaplin, the number 10, quickly right to the right, and where's Burns attacking the corner of the penalty area. Good defending by Vestergaard to stop that attack in its tracks. All for Burns does not make Vestergaard. He's won it back. He's pulled it across. Chaplin. It comes to Davis. Davis left-footed effort from the angle. Blocked by Fatawu. There's the noise of the 29,000 or so at Portman Road. Ipswich with this formidable home record. Only lost once at home in the league so far this season. They're second in the table and they're coming forward again. They want to peg back the league leaders on TalkSport 2. They're 1-0 down. 4 minutes into the second half. Leicester on the back foot all of a sudden. Here is Burgess for Ipswich. Wide left to Taylor, hugging the touchline. Infield on the near side from Davis. Square pass towards Harness, overhit. Over Jackson, hassling and harrying Ricardo, who nearly conceded possession. Long goes Connor Cody. Lovely little touch by Patson Daka, controlled in his chest with great elegance by Ndidi. Look at that from Leicester City. Little ball popped back by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall to the feet of Vestergaard. Lovely football from the visitors. And suddenly they look to turn defence into attack. On the halfway line is Winks. Onto Mavididi. Sweeping ball by Ricardo out wide to the left, and Mavididi controls the number 10. Corner of the penalty area. Twisting and turning and crossing left-footed. Right to the far post. Fatawu with the effort, and it spins up off the top of the turf and goes over the top. Sort of scissor kick from Abdul Fatawu. It would have been a wonderful second goal of the game for Leicester City, who lead 1-0. Here's Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, chances at both ends. Again, Mavididi. It's the left-hand side for Leicester and the right-hand side for Ipswich. Mavididi once again taking on Harry Clark, being positive. This time finds Fatawu, does decide to hit it first time, hits it into the ground, just bounces over the bar. But and the chance for Ipswich, Wes Burns down the right-hand side, I thought he'd overdone it really against Vestergaard. Good defending, wins it back, plays a cross-field pass, finds Leif Davies, and Fatawu down the other end. Brilliant block. This has been a great start for both teams in the second half.
Lester Hermanson in goal, Ricardo, Cody, Vestergaard and Fast the defenders, Winks, Dewsbury Hall and Ndidi in midfield, Mavididi the goal scorer, and Fatawu either side of Daka up front. Noise raining down from the stands on a cold night, a cold Boxing Day at Portman Road with the floodlights on. A Boxing Day where Southampton closed the gap on the top two to 4 points after thrashing Swansea. Leeds beaten at Preston North End. Wayne Rooney's Birmingham beaten at home by Stoke. Live on TalkSport 2 earlier. In the Premier League, Liverpool topped the table after a win at Aston Villa. Live on TalkSport. Here is Jackson with his back to goal for Ipswich Town. He's held it up in a central position. He's shuffled it to the right, and Chaplin on the edge of the penalty area, urged to shoot and does. Left-footed, it's blocked. The loose ball's ricocheted to Morsey. Square ball to Clark. Clark 35 yards out. Again into a central position. Chaplin back to goal. Back to Clark. Oh, he couldn't get it under control. He lost it underneath his feet. And there is Mavididi spinning away from two blue shirts. Ndidi calmly back to the heart of the defence, and Cody. And now they're spinning the back line again here, Leicester City. It's a lovely flowing counter-attacking move. Mavididi raining down the left-hand side. Left-hand into the penalty area, crossing in low. Cleared away. And out of play it goes for a Leicester throw in front of the cobbled stand on the far side there left. And Leicester, from defending the edge of their 18-yard box, suddenly in the space of 3 or 4 passes turned defence into a sparkling attack. Wonderful football from Enzo Maresca's league leaders.
What a 7 minutes of football this has been in the second half. Absolutely brilliant. But Ipswich have to get to grips with Mavididi. They're giving him far too much time down the left-hand side. It's caused Ipswich all sorts of problems in the first half. and he started the second half in the same manner. They need to get to grips with it, or he's going to comfortably win this game for Leicester.
Aston Villa lead Manchester United by 2-0 at Old Trafford tonight. Second half underway very shortly. Manchester United were booed off at half-time. It's live on Talk Sport, and the Sports Bar follows at 10. 03717 223344. Patson Daka for Leicester. Central position. Wide left is Mavididi. Always dangerous. Controls. Left-hand edge of the box. Square back towards Daka. Couldn't stretch to meet it. Taylor with the interception for Ipswich. What a high-tempo, high-octane championship game this is. Taylor bursts to halfway. Tracked back and fouled by Ndidi. This will be the first yellow card of the game. Out of the pocket of Sam Barrett, the referee. 8 minutes into the second half, and as you say, Darren Ambrose, it really is game on now.
Good play from Jack Taylor there. Wins the ball deep into his own half and attacks the defence of Leicester, and he has to be brought down by Ndidi. Right yellow card. It was a good yellow card actually for Leicester and Ndidi, stopping that counter-attack. But it's been a fantastic start to this second half by both sides. End-to-end stuff. It's whoever strikes first, I guess.
Home of your EFL Talk Sport 2. We're the only place to hear live and exclusive national radio commentaries from the EFL. Ball is on the halfway line for Leicester with Dewsbury Hall, robbed of possession by Harness. Tracking back with Industry to win it back, the former Burton Albion player, who also plied his trade with Portsmouth, where he really caught the eye. Regularly used as a substitute in his career. In fact, this is just his fourth league start of the season for Ipswich Town. Only 3 defeats in 42 league matches coming into Boxing Day for Kieran McKenna's Ipswich. They do trail at home to Leicester City, who, if they were to win tonight, would be 9 points clear at the top and 13 clear of Southampton in third. Here's Burgess, left-hand side for Ipswich, hoists the ball high downfield. Connor Cody with a clearing header for Leicester, the centre-half, the number 4. Cody with great experience, rolls the ball back to Hermansen, the goalkeeper, in purple and pink. Hermansen hasn't had a serious save to make in the game, and Kieran McKenna will want that to change very quickly indeed. Nearly 10 minutes into the second half now, and Ipswich trailing 1-0.
Yeah, he may look to his substitute bench very, very soon. I think Nathan Broadhead, very good goal scorer, creates opportunity as well. Ladapo potentially could come on, go in a 2 or drop Caden Jackson to the left-hand side. Maybe Marcus Harness makes way. I think he does need to make a change. He does like to make changes around 65 minutes, 70 minutes in, so we're not long from that.
Ricardo sweeping crossfield ball to the left for Leicester. Ricardo the captain. Aberdeen taps it back to Fass. Leicester have possession on the halfway line. Everton against Manchester City tomorrow, 8:15 on Talk Sport. Talk Sport 2 will have Chelsea against Crystal Palace at 7:30. Forward by Cody, high towards the right wing position. It's collected beautifully by Dewsbury Hall, who plucked it out of the air. He's been caught from behind there by Davis, and the assistant puts up that checkered flag. Free kick to Leicester, level with the edge of the 18-yard box, and Davis, I don't think we'll get any further punishment. Leicester are going to make a change, and it's Cesare Casadei on to replace the yellow-carded Ndidi. That's a sensible change, you feel, by Enzo Maresca. Casadei, who scored in the victory over Rotherham United at the weekend, the man on loan from Chelsea.
As soon as Ndidi got the yellow card, you see him go up, warm up straight away. Casadei, I think he's just made the choice, Enzo Maresca, straight away. Don't risk it. You're top of the league. Don't risk a red card and 10 men. Ndidi's done well in the first half, created some opportunities, but yeah, made way, yellow card.
We've seen him on loan in the Championship at Reading, Cesare Casadei, in the past. Keenan Dewsbury Hall will take the free kick for Leicester, just about level with the edge of the 18-yard box, near side the right, 5-6 yards infield. Dewsbury Hall whips it in high, deep to the far post. Vestergaard onto the roof of the net. The angle against the defender was almost an impossible one. He had to really go back across the face of goal there. Surely Darren Ambrose, in the end, it looped harmlessly over the top.
It's just a strange situation with Ipswich. The Jack Taylor, Harry Clark, Wes Burns was all marking Vestergaard, who's a mountain of a man, you know, so he was always going to win that. But you are right, head it across the goal and allow your teammates to try and head it into an empty net. He went for goal and it was the wrong decision.
Even 3 of them couldn't quite contend with it. Darren Ambrose, formerly of Ipswich Town, of course, and Newcastle United as well, been given away by Ipswich as Burgess had to slide into keep the ball from reaching Dewsbury Hall down the Leicester right. Leicester have it back with Winks, the number 8 in the centre circle, and Ricardo operating in that inverted full-back role, so moving into a deep-lying midfield position when Leicester have possession. Has tapped it back to Vestergaard, and Cody quickly to the feet of the goalkeeper, Hermansen again. Leicester, who have the best defence in the Championship this season, just 16 times they've conceded. Interception by Wolfenden on halfway. Hermansen was a long way out of his goal there, and had Wolfenden got a bit more on that, the goalkeeper scrambling back might have had a problem, but in the end he's retrieved it easily.
I think he didn't know, Wolfenden. I think that fell to Connor Chaplin, who always loves and looks to shoot from the halfway line. He'd have definitely had to go. That was just a genuine clearance by Wolfenden, but you are right, he was 20 yards out.
Ipswich win it back, and there'll be a yellow card out of the pocket of the referee here for Ricardo for a late challenge on Taylor, just inside Leicester City territory. Ipswich playing from right to left towards the Sir Bobby Robson stand, and of course, as ever, the supporters in the lower tier behind that goal are on their feet. Lots of blue and white banners around the goal. Come on Ipswich is the chant around Portman Road. Underway at Old Trafford for the second half. Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 2 is the latest score. John McGinn and Leander Dendoncker with first half goals, and if you see the first half goals back at some point, if you watch them at some stage, the defending for Manchester United leaves a lot to be desired. Free kick to Ipswich. Seeking equaliser, 1-0 down to Leicester. Less than an hour gone. Free kick pumped long by Davis. Poor free kick. Gathered easily by Hermansen. Hit very high and looping. Burgess jumped for it, but Hermansen, the goalkeeper, took it high in and around the penalty spot.
Yeah, poor free kick by Leif Davis. He's better than that. He's got good quality on the ball, especially from set plays, and it was a poor delivery that Cam Burgess couldn't get on the end of.
Gladkey, the Ipswich goalkeeper, had to be very careful and diligent with the ball at his feet, racing to the edge of his box, and that, you were suggesting to me, Darren Ambrose, is part of the reason, among a number, as to why he's still keeping Christian Walton out of the Ipswich goal at the moment.
Yeah, certainly is. I think Christian Walton's fantastic goalkeeper, done really well in the promotion season as well. Got injured, couldn't quite get back into the side, but the way Kieran likes to play, he likes his goalkeepers to be brave, like we've just seen Gladkey there, play a little reverse pass in the middle of the two centre forwards. He loves that because he loves to build up from the back. We've already seen goals, the famous Wes Burns goal when he hit the outside of the boot, come from the Gladkey at the back, and he's very good with the ball at his feet.
Lots of live football on the TalkSport network over the coming days, over the rest of the festive period. As Leicester look long up the far side, their left-hand channel towards Mavididi, but he can't keep it in play. Ipswich throw down by the corner flag. In that very lower tier of the cobbled stand, there's a tiny fraction of Leicester supporters, probably about 50 of them in that small section, and then a much greater number high up in the second tier. And it's their side who lead. Leicester looking to extend their advantage at the top. It'll be 9 points. As Gladkey, the Ipswich goalkeeper, did remarkably to dive across to the right-hand edge of his penalty area. I think with his head he stopped it going behind for a corner originally. I was looking from behind the pole, Darren Ambrose in front of us, but I tell you, he stopped it with his head.
I don't know why he's done that. He could have just used his hand.
Showboating.
But he did. He stopped it with his head. It was going to be a corner. I think it wasn't a pass back, but it would have been a corner. But he used his head, then used his hands. So strange bit of goalkeeping, but it worked.
He forgot he was a goalkeeper for a second. Maybe he didn't realise that he was inside the box as he prevented it.
Honestly, that was outstanding bit of goalkeeping.
There's another reason why he's still in the team. Harness has just been yellow carded for a foul on Winks in the centre circle.
I'm just wondering, Joe, like, I'm thinking, I'm looking at him now, I'm thinking, is he thinking, why did I do that? Why have I just headed it and then picked it up?
Goalkeepers are crazy, aren't they? Ipswich 0, Leicester 1. Over an hour gone here. Leicester, the league leaders, in possession. Kelechi Iheanacho being ready to come on for them. They've given it away. Chaplin's gone for goal from miles out, and Hermansen had to parry the ball away. He was off his line there, Hermansen. Chaplin went for goal from about 10 yards inside the Leicester half. Great vision from Connor Chaplin, who has put his head to his hands. Hermansen backpedaling, got a touch to tip it away. Fortunate the goalkeeper there that Chaplin didn't get a little more loft on it, as Leicester bring on Iheanacho for Patson Daka.
Honestly, I told you, Joe. I told you when Wolfenden had that clearance and he was off his line. I said, Connor Chaplin, I thought he will be looking at that. He'll know. Soon as he wins the ball, can he do it? You know what? The most disappointed person in this stadium will be Connor Chaplin, because he's better than that. That's an open goal. Hermanson is 20 yards off his line. He should have scored there, I feel. For someone of his quality, he tries that every game, by the way, and he's hit the bar, he's almost scored. You can tell he's so disappointed he didn't get that on target.
Iheanacho then for Daka for Leicester City. That's the first real save that Hermanson has had to make in the game so far. Ipswich 0, Leicester 1. It remains on TalkSport 2. Iheanacho onto the field, as I say, not scored since October. Here we are ticking towards the end of 2023. Ipswich at home to QPR next. Leicester away at Cardiff City to finish the year. The ball is on the halfway line with Morsey. Out wide to the right-hand side now, and Burns immediately, old-fashioned winger, driving forward up the right-hand channel, taking on fast and then cutting in field, playing it back to Morsey. Morsey whips in across to the far post. Davis coming in, back across the face of goal, headed away by Vestergaard. Davis has been hurt, he's gone down, he must have been caught late. Davis is off the field, and then Chaplin tackled by Fatawu. The referee says play on. That's got the Ipswich fans really riled up now, and Harness has got to be careful. Harness lunging in on Fatawu, who goes down, and Harness is already on a yellow card, and the referee Sam Barrett is going to be lenient here and just give Leicester City the free kick. But before that, Ipswich felt there were maybe two fouls, one on Chaplin and one on Davis.
I mean, lenient's not the word, Joe. I think it was 100% a foul on Connor Chaplin, just on the edge of the box, just at an angle, 100% by Fatawu, and then Marcus Harness tried to stop the counter-attack, as you said, and brought him down, and can find himself lucky that he didn't get another yellow card there. Now
Leicester on the burst with Winks, starting up the middle and into Ipswich territory, tracked all the way by Morsey, fouled by Morsey, who was sandwiched in between two blue and white shirts there, and Ipswich supporters on their feet around Portman Road and increasingly frustrated with the referee. We're 19 minutes into the second half. Leicester lead by a goal to nil. The second goal here for Leicester would surely finish Ipswich off.
I'll be very surprised if Marcus Harness isn't substituted very, very quickly, because I think one more he's lucky not to have seen red there. One more opportunity and the ref will give him a second yellow card. I can see him coming off very soon.
Manchester United still trail 2-0 at home to Aston Villa. They thought they were back into the game, Erik ten Hag's team, but Alejandro Garnacho had a goal ruled out for offside after a VAR check. It's live on TalkSport right now, followed by the Sports Bar with Jason Cundy and Jermaine Pennant. We brought you 8 live games today on the network, and you can have your say on, well, each and every one of them if you really want to, or anything else that has happened across the footballing world this afternoon and into the evening. Everton against Manchester City tomorrow on TalkSport. Chelsea Palace, TalkSport 2. Davis for Ipswich, through the middle, up to the edge of the D, shoots left-footed, gathered by the goalkeeper, took a deflection, and that took all the sting out of it. Cesare Casadei tracking back, Kieran McKenna applauds, much more gusto and intent about Ipswich in the second half, but they still can't really carve out that clear chance they need for an equaliser.
Yeah, I mean, they're making Hermanson work now, as they didn't do that in the first half. He's having to make a couple of saves. Great marauding run by Leif Davis down the left-hand side. Just as you said, Casadei, brilliant defending, just stopped the shot from reaching Hermanson with any venom, any power, just ended up in his arms. But a lot better this half by Ipswich.
It's one of 450 commentaries on the TalkSport network this season. Premier League, the EFL, Champions League, Europa League and more. WSL, Euro 2024 next summer. We've got it all. Here's Wolfenden for Ipswich, deep inside his own half of the field. Lovely work by Morsey, Wolfenden and Clark as they try to play the ball out of the defensive third. Burgess inside his own box, out to the left back position, and Davis, good first touch, and then the ball in field is lovely to find Taylor. Taylor picks up a pocket of space, he's evaded Casadei for now, wide left to Harness. Taylor was body checked by Casadei, referee sensibly allows play to go on. Harness goes on the outside, near side of the left away from Ricardo, he's now level with the edge of the 18-yard box. Ipswich are 1-0 down as we tick towards the final quarter of the game. Davis, early ball in from the left, Taylor controls and shoots, and he's hammered it into Winks. The ball spirals up into the dark night sky, players looking left and right, nobody knows where it is. It's dropped down just inside the Leicester half, and Ipswich will come again. Burgess, infield to Morsey, everybody in those orange Leicester shirts behind the ball now. Ipswich are starting to flood forward with greater regularity. Clark just inside the Leicester half, nudges it wide right to Burns, one-on-one with Fast. Burns fancies his chances, crosses away from Jackson. Fatawu chested it down. Whoa! What about that for composure to chest it down and clear? And now Mavididi has poked it onto Iheanacho on the break. Iheanacho's controlled. Dewsbury Hall makes the run through the middle. Out comes Hladky, gets there first, and Hladky hammers it clear. What an amazing passage of play. Ipswich 0, Leicester 1.
I mean, Fatawu in his own penalty box, chesting it down and clearing it under the pressure that they've been on. It's been all Ipswich for the last 15 minutes, so you're going to have to say that. But they look dangerous on the counter-attack, Leicester. Iheanacho come on now. Mavididi is still very, very dangerous when he gets the ball. Not had it recently, but, you know, they're strong going forward. But it's all been Ipswich.
These two sides came into the weekend as the joint highest scorers in the Championship. Now 48 goals in the league for Leicester, 47 for Ipswich Town. Remember, they've scored in each of their last 27 home league games. They usually find a way to score at home, but they haven't so far. There's more than 20 minutes to go. 22 plus stoppage time to be exact. Pass in the left back position for Leicester. Plays it back to Vestergaard. He's midway inside his own half. Forward to Cassidy. Lovely touch square to Winks. Back to Cassidy with the gloves on. Cassidy looks to smuggle it forward towards Iheanacho. Under pressure from Morsey tearing forward. And it's floated downfield towards Iheanacho. And Burgess let it bounce. It's gone through to Hladky, the goalkeeper. Got a good starting position on the edge of his penalty area. The problem that Ipswich have is that Leicester looks so capable of scoring on the counter-attack, and they have to try and manage that threat pretty much, I guess, Darren, until the very end of the game, because you just cannot leave yourself open against Leicester at the back.
No, absolutely. We've got Iheanacho who's just come on, Dewsbury Hall, Mavididi, Cassidy just in that number 10 slot. Very, very talented. They can score a goal out of nothing. We know that. So as much as Ipswich are dominating this second half at the moment, one opportunity and it'll be 2-0. We know that can happen to Leicester. And as you said, you need to be on it from first to last minute.
Forward by Burgess into the midway point of his own half, given away by Harness. Harness then manages to retrieve the ball, rapping against the shields of Iheanacho to win it back. Now Clark on the counter. Harness little touch floating it to the right hand side, and Burns tried to dart infield despite the overlapping run of Clark. It's been cleared away by Leicester only as far as Burns. He's about 15 yards into Leicester territory. Morsey in the centre circle. Square ball to Burgess. Everybody inside the Leicester half, bar the Ipswich goalkeeper Hladky. Ipswich 0, Leicester 1. Just over 20 minutes of normal time to go. Chaplin through the middle to Jackson. Back to goal. Back to Connor. Chaplin opens up. Good save to his right by Hermanson. A flying stop to turn it behind. Now he's really been worked, the Leicester goalkeeper. Ipswich had another corner.
Connor Chaplin, poor first half, been brilliant this second half. And again, a little 1-2 on his lesser favoured foot, the right foot. Great strike, good save from Hermanson.
Corner number 9 in the game for Ipswich, 1-0 down. Whipped in left-footed by Davis. Headed away at the near post by Vestergaard. Back out wide to Davis, who's plucked it out of the air. Down by the corner flag, he scampers infield to the corner of the penalty area. Back it goes to Morsey. Morsey looks up and lays it square. Wolfenden urged to shoot. Floats it to the left. Headed back across goal by Davis. Could drop in the penalty area. Here's Chaplin shooting again, left-footed. And that's rising. And that's over the top. But Ipswich starting to grow closer towards an equaliser.
You can hear it, you can hear the atmosphere. It is all Ipswich at the moment. We've spoken about how dangerous Leicester can be on the counter-attack, but Connor Chaplin has come alive in this second half, and again, this time on his favourite foot, on the edge of the box, just puts the ball over the bar. But the right-footed effort, 1-2 with Caden Jackson, got it on his right foot, great strike, Hermanson, good save. It's all Ipswich, but like we said, they can be dangerous, Leicester.
Leicester having to be resolute, but they can do that. And here is Ricardo plopping it through the gap towards Winks. He darts over the halfway line and suddenly orange shirts are flooding forward. Winks out to the near side, the right. Fatawu controls. He's about level with the edge of the 18-yard box. Fatawu with the pink boots on. Just rolls it back to Ricardo. Ricardo to Winks. Ricardo split the gap there between the midfield and the back line of Ipswich with a perfect pass. And Leicester couldn't quite in the end make anything of it. Here's Dewsbury Hall midway inside his own half. Just rolls it neatly back to Cody. You just have to admire the quality of the football on show from Leicester City and the bravery of their play, and the fact that Maresca's done this in the space of 6 months at the club. Wolfenden plays it back to Hladky, and that's certainly not knocking the amazing job that Kieran McKenna's done at Ipswich as well. The praise for the two managers who are two of the absolute best, maybe the two best in the Championship, you'd have to say.
What Leicester do and what they're good at, and we've seen even the pressure that Ipswich are putting them on. As soon as Leicester get the ball, they don't mind being patient. They keep it for 10, 15, 20 passes just to frustrate Ipswich.
Chaplin out to the left, the right rather, and Burns in a race to keep it in play. He hasn't been able to do so. There goes that lime green flag of the assistant to signal it has gone out in front of the cobbled stand the far side. Kieran McKenna patrolling the touchline. So too the Leicester boss Enzo Maresca. Ipswich 0, Leicester 1 it remains. Have we seen the last of the scoring, or could there be another goal or two in this one? Forward hard in the middle by Cody to Cassidy, who's chested it down. Cassidy into the penalty area. Cassidy has chipped it into the box towards Dewsbury Hall instead of going for goal, and Burgess got in front of Dewsbury Hall to shrug him aside. That key was able to claim. Leicester find the key to the door in one or two passes some of the time. Vestergaard has fouled Chaplin. Free kick to Ipswich just shy of halfway.
Just two better options there for Cassidy. One, the main option, shoot. You're 18 yards out, you versus Vladke, shoot. The other one was Mavididi as well on the left-hand side. He chose a weird chip to the far post to try and get Dewsbury Hall in, and it come to nothing, and then Connor Chaplin was brought down in the middle of the park, and it's again Ipswich on the attack.
17 minutes of normal time to go now on TalkSport 2. Morsey, the number 5, the Ipswich captain, midway inside his own half of the field, out to the right, and Clark back to the halfway line of Wolfenden, faced up by a sea of Leicester players in front of him in the centre half. Square ball to Burgess. Manchester United with a goal back at home to Aston Villa. They trail by 2-1 United. Alejandro Garnacho has got them back into the game. It's live on TalkSport right now. Be sure to download the TalkSport app. You can swipe between both stations at your leisure. Harness, left wing position for Ipswich. Low ball infield, intercepted by Cody. Great interception by Cody. Very clever pass by Harness towards Chaplin and Jackson. Chaplin applauded the intent, and now he asks for more noise from the home crowd. It's an Ipswich throw, 5 yards from the corner flag, taken by Davis. Infield to Taylor. Taylor trying to wriggle away from Fatu. He's done that. Corner of the penalty area now. Taylor facing goal. He's had to go back out left to the near side, and Davis, who rattles it off the shins of Dewsbury Hall. That's another Ipswich throw. 1-0 down Ipswich.
Almost perfect pass by Harness there. Didn't rush the cross. He just hit a hard and low one. Just intercepted by Vestergaard. Cody, I think it was in the end. Otherwise it was reaching Caden Jackson.
But now it's Leicester on the counter. Mavididi attacking Clark. 1v1 through the middle towards Kieran. Dewsbury Hall. Oh, he was brought down there. Dewsbury Hall, surely. No penalty given by the referee. Leicester City staff can't believe it on the near side touchline. Dewsbury Hall was certainly caught by Burgess there.
I think that's a penalty, Joe. Just looking at it here, I think it's a penalty. He's tried to shield him, Cam Burgess, tried to shield Dewsbury Hall away, but he got there, and he definitely he connected with his foot. For me, on the initial viewing, that was a penalty. What
a brilliant game of Championship football this is. Dewsbury Hall back on his feet, and Leicester streaming forward again, playing from right to left. Cassidy's threaded it to the left-hand side, and Steffi Mavididi's level with the edge of the box. Backwards now to Fass, and for once the pace of the game is slowed. Ipswich 0, Leicester 1, 15 minutes to go. And we don't have a monitor in our commentary position here at Portman Road, but I'm sure that certainly Enzo Maresca would love to see that potential penalty incident again. I have to say, I really did think Burgess just took the legs of Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah, the initial viewing, he tried to shield it back to Vladke, but Dewsbury got there in front of him, so then he had to change his plan, and it looked like he just cleaned him out. So for me, that was a penalty.
Davis on the halfway line for Ipswich, ball infield towards Jackson, robbed the possession, good tackle that by Cody. Referee says play on, two players collided. Now Cassidy charging forward over the halfway line and wide left to Mavididi. Mavididi on the corner of the penalty area here for Leicester. He's beyond one, he's nearly beyond two. It's dropped towards Cassidy, tried the shot, blocked off by Wolfenden, hacked up into the air by Morsey. All action this at Portman Road in the second half. It's been a superb second half. Neither team has had another goal to show for it. Leicester have the one goal we've seen so far. Mavididi in the first half, which was almost tepid by comparison. Here's Cody on the halfway line. So Ipswich Rural Club, Darren, might have got away with one there.
I'd like to see it again. I certainly would. We haven't had the opportunity to see it again, but for initial viewing I thought it was a penalty. It wasn't given. There was a potential shout for a penalty for Ipswich on Leif Davies about 15 minutes ago. Yeah. Wasn't given also, so maybe that just evened itself out. I think Ipswich are about to make a triple substitution, it looks like, bringing on a couple of forward players.
Broadhead and Hutchinson maybe being readied here for Ipswich Town. Ricardo's got the ball back for Leicester City and now winks from the lip of the centre circle out to the left, and Cassidy, who's looked lively since taking to the field. Here is Fass. That's just inside the Ipswich half at walking pace now. The game has been slowed. Vestergaard to Fass on the halfway line again. Back to Vestergaard once more. The Leicester lead by that goal to nil. Luongo, Broadhead and Hutchinson all ready to come on for Ipswich Town very shortly. Three players who've made tremendous impacts at the club in their own ways.
Positive substitutions they will be. They are being readied. They're just on the sideline waiting to come. Maybe Marcus Harness, Connor Chaplin potentially going off. Jack Taylor, I'd say, would be the other one. Remains to be seen. We're going to see in a couple of minutes. But positive substitutions by Kieran McKenna and Ipswich.
12.5 minutes to go. All is just inside Ipswich territory. Shepherded back to the goalkeeper by Fatawu. Every single Leicester City player on the field is confident with the ball at their feet. Ricardo back to the goalkeeper Hermanson again.
They just frustrate you when they get the ball. They can just play, like we said, 15-20 passes just to slow the game down and kill all the momentum that Ipswich have. They're very, very comfortable on the ball.
Hermanson, the goalkeeper, forward to wings, right through the middle to Cassidy. Cassidy couldn't lay it square to Iheanacho. He nearly did, but for the tremendous interception by Wolfenden, and they can play through you in multiple ways, Leicester City. Good dink by the goalkeeper Hladky over the top of two onrushing Leicester players, but Clark can't keep it in play. And that's going to be a throw to Leicester in a moment. But here come the changes. I think Yunus Akgun is ready to come on for Leicester City as well. So here come that raft of changes. Hutchinson, Luongo and Broadhead coming on. Burns is the first player to leave the field. Harness going off as well. And that's Taylor coming off for Ipswich 2. Are those the three changes you would have expected?
Yeah, I'd say so. I said Connor Chaplin potentially, but he can always score a goal out of nothing, Connor Chaplin. So he's definitely the right one out of him and Wes Burns to keep on the pitch. They're very positive substitutions. Nathan Broadhead, great form this season, as is Luongo when he has the opportunity, he has this partnership with Sammy Morsey in the middle of midfield. And Murray Hutchinson, very, very positive. He'll get the ball. He'll attack the defenders of Leicester City, Woutfest and Vestergaard. They'll have something different to deal with now because he can go either way.
Here comes the Galatasaray loanee Yunus Akgun, a Turkish player, on to replace Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, who's leaving the field now. And Dewsbury Hall taking the long walk towards the near side, and the boos from the Ipswich fans will tell you that. 1-0 to Leicester City, and Dewsbury Hall glaring towards the fans away to the left in the Sir Bobby Robson stand.
The supporters may have seen it as a dive, Dewsbury Hall. It sounds like it with the reception he's getting, the boos he's getting as he's coming off, but fantastic talent, Dewsbury Hall, and he's been key to Leicester City being at the top of the division, key to keep him at the football club, because he had many people wanting him in the Premier League.
Leicester throw on that far side, the left wing position has come to nothing. It's hammered clear by Harry Clark for Ipswich. Jackson can't really hold the ball up effectively enough for Ipswich here. Just over 10 minutes of normal time remaining as the team in second tries to find an equaliser against the team that lead the league table. And Ipswich, the gap to Southampton in third, will be 4 points if it stays like this. And suddenly the nerves really starting to grow in Suffolk. Leicester heading 9 points clear at the top and 13 clear of third as it stands. Vestergaard's back pass a little short. Hermanson forward, straight to Jackson. He's giving it away. Jackson away from Ricardo. Edge of the D. Jackson, can he get his shot in? He does. It's blocked by Fass. Loose ball drops towards Luongo. He can't control. Little touch by Davis with his back to goal. Scrambled up into the air by Fatawu. A rare error from the Leicester City goalkeeper Hermanson, and it nearly led to a big Ipswich chance at goal.
Yeah, Caden Jackson, I think, chose the wrong option again. It was brilliant interception from him. Good play, good strength to get away from the Leicester midfielder, and he tried to shoot when he probably could have slipped to Murray Hutchinson on the right hand side. He would have been in on goal, but as a centre forward he's always going to take the shot on, and it was good play all round. Again, it's all Ipswich.
TalkSport 2, and it's still 1-0 to Leicester. Offside against Hutchinson. Now that was pretty sloppy from the Chelsea loanee, coming back from an offside position. We're being told by people who've seen replays of the penalty incident involving Dewsbury Hall and Burgess was that it should have been a Leicester penalty, and that was certainly what it looked like at the time. But then, as you say, Darren, Ipswich might say, well, they could have had a penalty themselves.
Yeah.
Forward by Hermanson, high up the middle. The Leicester goalkeeper, the header away by Burgess. It's dropped on the halfway line, infield by Davis to Broadhead. Broadhead 8 goals so far this season. On by Morsey to Chaplin. Lovely defence splitting pass. Chaplin wide to the right hand side. It's Amari Hutchinson, the right winger, driving forward and crossing. Knocked on the slide by Bass. You have to credit Bass for an excellent performance tonight. But Leicester still got work to do. 10 corners now for Ipswich. 1-0 down. 8 minutes plus stoppage time to go.
He's defended really well, Bass. He's had Wes Burns to deal with. He's gone off. He's now Amari Hutchinson to deal with, and he is very positive player. Amari Hutchinson on loan from Chelsea. This time went on the outside. Good tackle.
Corner whipped in high by Davis into the near post, headed away by Iheanacho, whose ball has dropped down to Hutchinson. A couple of juggles of the ball, and he's knocked it straight out of play under the challenge of Mavadidi. The Ipswich players were hopefully looking towards the assistant, thinking, is he going to be fooled by our appeals? But he wasn't. And it's a goal kick to Leicester.
No, he's missed a Stonewall penalty for me. Like I said, we've not seen the replay. People that have seen it have said it is a Stonewall. He's missed that, but he's had a relatively good game. The referee almost lost control at a point in the first half, but he's had a good game.
Here come Ipswich with Chaplin, 25 yards out, onto Broadhead, edge of the area. Broadhead trying to find space for a shot, cleared away by Fass, only half away by Leicester City. Atgun then gets the loose ball. Atgun tearing forward and finding Harry Winks. Winks blocked off though by the retreating Luongo. Ipswich have it back again. Broadhead gets a decisive goal. Oh, but he can't nutmeg Vestergaard. Vestergaard stood tall and strong to win it back for Leicester. Amazing game at Portman Road. And now here come Leicester on the counter again with the seemingly tireless Mavadidi. Surges between two blue and white shirts. He's midway inside the Ipswich half. Not beyond the third in the shape of Luongo though. And here from right to left come Ipswich again. Luongo, great way to pass down the right to Hutchinson. Fass is there again. Sliding in Fass. He got a lot of criticism in the Premier League last season. He's been brilliant tonight in this biggest game of the Championship season so far.
Yeah, he's been absolutely brilliant. Once again, Luongo tried to play in between him and the centre half for Amari Hutchinson, and he won that race. Great defending once again from Wout Faes.
Now then, tangle legs far side, throw to Ipswich. Level with the edge of the 18-yard box. They're coming towards the Sir Bobby Robson stand in there. Waves Ipswich now in the second half. Will it help lead them to an equaliser? The noise of the home fans. They've got a long throw here, and Burgess has come forward for it. The centre half. It's hurled into the box by Clark and headed away by Fass.
It wasn't even a long throw. Got everyone up and he didn't even reach the penalty box.
Luongo, midway inside the Leicester half. Just over 5 minutes of normal time remaining. High towards Burgess, won the header to knock it down, and it's gathered by goalkeeper Hermanson. And it's now 2-2 at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 2. And both for Alejandro Garnacho. So from 2-0 down, Erik ten Hag's side have rescued themselves. Yes, quite possibly. Closing stages will be on TalkSport. They kicked off 15 minutes later than us. Ipswich looking for an equaliser against Leicester. Hutchinson. Now, was he fouled on the corner of the box? No. Ipswich fans on their feet to appeal all around the ground. But Sam Barrett, the referee, is unmoved. And Fass steps out of defence with authority for Leicester. Poked forward by Cassidy. Poor ball. Leicester holding on to the ball. Much less now, Darren, it feels like to me.
Yeah, they're trying to play a little bit direct, and a little bit of sloppiness creeping into Leicester. A little bit of nervousness, I think, coming into the last 5 minutes of normal time. I think Ipswich have dominated this half, and it's caused a little bit of edginess to Leicester.
More live football from the EFL on Friday. Southampton against Plymouth and West Brom against Leeds on the TalkSport network. Here is Ricardo. We're inside his own half for Leicester. Hot back by Vestergaard to Cody. We're in the 86th minute. Ipswich have certainly created more in the second half, but Hermanson, one good save to deny Chaplin. That aside, they haven't had enough on target maybe in the game, Ipswich. Freddie Ladapo is going to come on very shortly. I wonder whether there'll be a change of shape, or maybe does he take off the sub? Jackson has got it though, via deflection to win it back for Ipswich. Corner of the penalty area is Chaplin. Jackson's touch, Broadhead, he's in the box. He can't get beyond Cody. Cody stood tall. Might have been a handball by an Ipswich player in there as well. Leicester break away out of defence. Cody finding Cassidy, and now Mabadidi fancies his chances, but he can't get beyond Clark. His touch was heavy. Poor ball out of play by Wolfenden. That'll allow Leicester some momentum back into the game as they can slow the play down. And here comes the Ipswich change. Ladapo on, and yes, Jackson coming off. The sub is sub.
Yeah, it's never nice, but they'll understand it's for the team. Ladapo will give them something extra, something different once again, a bit of fresh legs, and I've already said, you can't take Connor Chaplin off. He's the talisman, he's the one that can create a chance out of nothing.
Well, I also think, in fairness to Jackson, he has played the best part of an hour, ultimately, so it's not an indignity to be taken off in these circumstances. And he's worked very hard for the team, but it's Ladapo, the number 9, onto the field now. This is his 300th senior appearance of his career, and Ipswich are the 17th club of his career.
Wow.
A busy career.
He's a journeyman.
Luongo on the halfway line. Wide left to Broadhead. Broadhead is taking on Ricardo here. Ipswich 0, Leicester 1. A thrilling end to the game on TalkSport 2. 2.5 minutes of normal time left. Davis early ball to Ladapo with his back to goal. The number 9, he holds up play neatly. He darts down the inside left channel, but Winks gets across. And so composed in their defending, Leicester City. Winks is, well, I thought threw himself to ground a bit there to buy a free kick from the referee, and the referee did give the free kick.
Yeah, he certainly bought that. I don't think there was any touch at all. We've got the perfect view here, and he did. He just ran in front of him as if he'd been clipped, fell over, and he's won his team a free kick. It's right down in their own penalty box, just to take a little bit more pressure off them. They just can't get the final through ball, the final shot right, Ipswich, at the moment. They've done everything correct apart from the final thing. Nathan Broadhead's a little bit guilty of trying to do a little bit too much as opposed to just shooting. A couple of minutes to go.
Leicester can do the ugly side of the game well as well, and that is what, I guess, potential title winners, promotion winners, that's what you have to do as well, Darren Ambrose.
Absolutely, and they've got experienced players. Connor Cody, Harry Winks there.
Oh, but here's a chance for Luongo, through the middle to Chaplin. Chaplin onto Broadhead. Broadhead angle tight, cuts in field. Oh, he couldn't take the ball with him. And Ricardo was back, and in the end gets congratulations from Cody and his goalkeeper. Ricardo shepherded the ball out of play for a goal kick. Ipswich were through there. They were virtually through, but from the angle, the tight angle, Broadhead tried to jink back in field and then forgot to take the ball with him, and there's only a minute of normal time to go.
He's got to shoot for me, Joe. He's got to just get it on his foot, weak or strong foot, whatever it is, and just shoot. Hit the ball. I've just said he's Nathan Broadhead, fantastic finisher, both feet. He's been guilty of trying a little bit too much, and he's done that once again.
And now Mabadidi at the other end, looking to punish Ipswich Town. Onto Iheanacho, too much on that ball towards Iheanacho. He'll sprint towards it, can't keep it in play. Throw to Ipswich by their own corner flag. We're heading towards stoppage time. I know the home crowd will want plenty of that. There are 1 or 2 empty blue seats starting to appear at Portman Road, but the vast majority will be staying put until the end. It's the kind of game that, well, I don't want it to end at all. It's so exciting to watch.
It's been a fantastic game. This second half has been brilliant. The first half, you'd have to say Leicester rightly went in at half time in the lead, apart from the last 5-6 minutes of the half where Ipswich come into the match. But it's been all Ipswich really, with Leicester looking really dangerous on the counter-attack, Mabadidi in particular. But
5 added minutes at the end of the game. Here's Luongo near inside the left for Ipswich, midway inside the Leicester half. Ipswich 0, Leicester 1, so Leicester will be 9 points clear as it stands, and 13 clear of third position. There'd be a gap of just 4 points between Ipswich in second and Southampton in third. Jackson with his back to goal, and Ladapo with his back to goal, the number 9, having replaced Jackson. Ladapo on the field. It's gone wide to the right-hand side, and Hutchinson taking on Fast, skipping beyond Fast. He's got the pace to dart to the dead ball line. Hutchinson races into the area, cuts it back. Ladapo deflected behind by Fast. Fast again in the way for Leicester, and they all celebrate as if they'd scored. It's another corner, nearly a minute through 5 added.
Brilliant by Amari Hutchinson there. I said he's direct, he's quick, he attacks the fullback. They played a short corner now.
To Hutchinson. Hutchinson again showing the trickery, but then Mavididi got back to block him off. Why didn't they just pump that ball into the box, Darren Ambrose?
Such a strange decision. I just don't understand when teams do this. You've got the momentum. Get the big players forward. Even Vladke was looking to potentially come forward because it's important. Try and get a draw. If you're gonna lose 2-0. Try and go for the draw. That's what you want to happen. That chance there that just happened for Ladapo, it was because Wout Best was chasing Amari Hutchinson back. He ended up in the penalty box and then ended up getting the block from Ladapo. It's been a fantastic match, particularly this half.
90 seconds of the 5 added have been played. We shall not be moved, sing the Leicester City fans. Heading for their 20th league win of the season from 24 games.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And you can see why.
Nobody can match that consistency, it would seem. Header away by Fast for Leicester. So resolute in this second half, Leicester up to this point. Casadet's held the ball up midway inside his own half. Infield to Winks, and the courage on the ball of Winks and Casadet. They've left to go back to the right back position, and Fatawu. Many players in that position at 1-0 up in stoppage time, but have just hammered it upfield. But Leicester are a different breed. They keep possession, although Fatawu's gone cross-field, risky ball, headed on by Fast, and it's won back by Casadet.
It's just calm, it's casual. They're all fantastic on the ball. They're all brave to have the ball as well, even under this pressure.
Here's Hutchinson though. Ipswich have it midway inside the Leicester half. Hutchinson heading for the corner of the penalty area. Tackling back is Mavididi. Leicester with virtually everybody back behind the ball. Halfway through 5 added. 1-0 to Leicester. But here's Morsey for Ipswich. Shooting deflected. It's in! It's in! Ipswich are level! In stoppage time! Portman Road goes mad! And that is the definition of a captain's goal from Sam Morsey. It might have taken a deflection, but he won't care one bit. And Ipswich will feel they are deservedly back on level terms. We promise you high-octane drama in this clash of the top two, and Ipswich have come roaring back. They always score at home. They've done it again. They're level. Ipswich 1, Leicester 1.
What did we say, Joe? Get the ball on your foot and put your laces through it. Doesn't matter if it goes in first time, top corner, trickles in, takes a deflection. Sammy Morsey got the ball on his foot and hit the shot. Something that no Ipswich players really done in this second half. And it has to be said, deserved the equaliser.
And what might happen in the last 90 seconds? Leicester on the attack. Mavididi can't keep it in play. Throw to Ipswich. Right back position. No more than Ipswich deserve for how they played in the second half. They were not to be denied, Darren Ambrose.
Absolutely, huge deflection, it has to be said. But we spoke about Nathan Broadhead not hitting the shot, trying too much. Sammy Morsey, one thing on his mind, got it on his left foot, which is weak foot, and just hit the shot. Captain's goal, deflected, okay. I felt for Hermanson because he was wrong-footed, he didn't know what to do, but absolutely brilliant.
He's scored some crucial goals, Sam Morsey, this season, and he's got another. It's 1-1, Ipswich 1, Leicester 1. 45 seconds to go. Ipswich have the ball just inside the Leicester half. Morsey, right of centre. Hutchinson, little flick towards the right. Oh, good play by Fast.
Brilliant he's been.
To knock it off Chaplin and win that
Fast has been absolutely brilliant defending, and it's harsh that he's going to be on a team that isn't going to win this match at the moment.
Well, you never know, because here come Leicester down the far side. They're left with Mavididi. The tackle coming in from Morsey. Throw to Leicester. There's only 20 seconds left. There might be a bit more added on because of the goal and the celebrations that followed. All eyes on Sam Barrett, the referee. A throw from Fast towards the edge of the area. Ian Acho controls on the corner of the box, but is surrounded by blue shirts, and Ipswich clear. Long by Hutchinson to the halfway line. It's 1-1 on TalkSport 2. Cody back to the goalkeeper Hermanson. He's under pressure. Hermanson will hammer it forward, high up the right-hand channel. Fatawu is chasing it. Goalkeeper backpedaling. Fatawu trying to reach it down the dead ball line. Burgess with the touch. He's knocked it out of play. That's a throw to Leicester. Right by the corner flag. We've already had 20 seconds over the 5 added. Ipswich 1, Leicester 1. And a throw to Leicester City on the near side. Fatawu's going to leave it for Ricardo here. Just slowing the game down, Leicester City. Incredible noise after that Ipswich equaliser. Rarely will you see an equaliser celebrated as raucously as that. and that might be the last notable action of the game. Leicester still waiting to take the throw. Ricardo goes back to Cody. Cody's got two in the middle to him, and he's gone back to the halfway line and Vestergaard. The referee blows the final whistle. Wow, listen to the noise of the Ipswich fans celebrating a draw almost as though it's a victory, but it will feel like a moral victory for Kieran McKenna's team, because they have pegged back Leicester City in stoppage time as this enthralling clash of the top two in the Championship ends one apiece. This sort of game, this sort of second half is exactly why we love the EFL and why we're your home of the EFL on the TalkSport network. So the gap at the end of the night remains as it was before the game started. 6 points between the two teams, and Ipswich move 5 ahead of Southampton in third now after that dramatic late equaliser from the captain Sam Morsey, shooting from the edge of the box, big deflection on it, wrong-footed the goalkeeper Matt Hermansen to give Ipswich what you have to say was a deserved leveller, though Leicester, having taken the lead through Steffi Mavididi in the first half, a fine finish it was too, will certainly point to the penalty that never was at 1-0 in the second. Dewsbury Hall was taken out by Burgess. The referee didn't give a spot kick, and maybe Enzo Maresca will have words to say about that after the full-time whistle here. But the noise when that Ipswich equaliser went in really was a joy to behold, and these two will keep tussling towards the top of the Championship as the season goes on. Make no mistake about it, it was a game that you just didn't want to end, but it has finished, and it's finished Ipswich 1, Leicester 1.